So I'm with Louis Mayering, the CEO of the ZestWeg group of companies, and what I'd like to explore for a minute is the multinational component WEG. And it's not lost on me, of course, that WEG is also the German, apart from the fact that it's an acronym, it's a German name for the road or the direction or the movement, so it's something that's moving forward. But what I'd like to understand is, what is, in your opinion and your experience as part of the ZestWeg group, real investment when you're dealing with a multinational? What do you imagine that should entail?
Yeah, the reality for us is coming off a base where we were primarily, call it an electric product distributor or supplier, and never really in the space of manufacture. And you get to know the manufacturing space in being part of a multinational. You understand that there are some limitations that you have by default trading in certain countries. And of course, I'll give you a typical example. To try and import distribution transformers from a multinational being manufactured elsewhere in the world and try and compete in a local industry is just basically impossible.
Right.
And we realized that at some point in time we needed to be in that space if we're going to be a real player. And in order to do that, we have to be manufacturing. And the benefit that we have is really the lessons learned from a very entrepreneurial business in
right.
South America, and investing very heavily in the skills and the R&D and all the things that make them a very successful manufacturing facility. And we've had to up our game and understand all that and adjust our business model to compensate and get in line with those sorts of requirements.
So that's actually very interesting. You're so right. The concept of just pulling something in and handing it over to somebody is very different to getting your hands dirty, building, manufacturing. And the skills component is particularly interesting to me, because as soon as you start doing that, you require a set of skills which include the technical skills. How do you folk find that you're tackling that one? Are we upskilling? How are you doing it? Is it working for you?
Yes, and I must admit that one in particular for us has been a really, really difficult nut to crack, because if you look at the traditional old school style of manufacturing, there was a lot of investment in training, and I'm talking 30, 40 years back.
That's right.
And if anybody remembers going back to the old school organizations, the Sassels, the East Coast and so on, and the number of people that they employed on an annual basis and putting them through training schools and paying for varsities and technicons and so forth, those disappeared for quite a number of years.
That's right.
So the pool of people unfortunately are no longer there. So we've had to be very innovative in what we do. And although we have wonderful support from the multinationals, but we've had to change our game completely. And we've had to go back to basics and say, well, if we're not going to get it in the industry, what are we doing to have access to those? And I'll make it practical. We're now entering into South Africa to produce transformers up to 40 MVA.
Wow.
Making the winding of a 40 MVA transformer deserves or requires a bit of a particular skill. And just to find that simple, this is not a very highly complex job or function, but just to find that skill in South Africa for us was an absolute pain. We couldn't find the skill, and we realized that even at basic principles in simple manufacturing, we needed to go back to basics and start upskilling from ground level.
I think it's a very important point as well. The point is, you need that skill, but these are jobs which you may not perceive them to be complex, but they've got to be done absolutely correctly, and that requires high levels of skill.
100%. That's absolutely correct.
Well, may I commend you on that, and I think it's very important, and I think that increasingly we're seeing companies who recognize the loss of skill and the need to redevelop, and at the end of the day, growing this economy requires that. So from that point of view, congratulations, and I wish you all the best.
Yes, no, thank you very much.